Hey, what's going on? Welcome to this week's Rap Session Friday. And I want to share with you, the usual stuff that we talk about during Rap Session Friday. Actually, over this week, I'm starting to see a trend that the Play Inspired podcast is starting to become a show about nothing. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I actually find that kind of liberating. Like it's a show where we can talk about absolutely anything under the sun. And yeah, it has evolved. Okay, the Plain Inspired podcast has been kicking around for the last 3 years on and off. And it's evolved from a business to living life to the fullest to vulnerability and self-expression to now just a plain old show about nothing. And I absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. It's very liberating because now we can honestly talk about, we can literally just shoot the shit. I love that. Anyway, I wanted to share with you something that I have uncovered over the last couple of weeks. And I figured that if you just pay attention to yourself and your actions and everything else that you do, you will probably notice the same pattern for yourself. So, over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I started trying my hand on retail arbitrage. Okay, you've seen it, just to get me out of the house and all that good stuff. Like with the whole quarantine thing, I'm sorry, it's just not being at home all the time. In the beginning, it's all fun and games, but at some point, it started to become. It just didn't sit well with my mental health anymore, and so I started doing retail arbitrage, and I find myself knee jerk reacting. Okay, and when you put yourself in a position like that, when you're retail arbitraging, you end up talking to the most bizarre people. Okay, you find yourself talking and getting the most ridiculous questions. Okay, the entitlement on some people, the just plain old ridiculous, and I find myself reacting to them in a knee-jerk reaction and finding a need. And this is something I thought that I've already resolved. Okay, I walk around honestly claiming that I do not feel the need to always be right. I do not feel the need to always have the last say. But over the last 3 weeks of retail arbitrage has proven otherwise. I still feel the need to always be right. I still feel the need to have the last say. I still need to engage with these people instead of just taking the high road and not responding, or taking the high road and just saying thanks for your interest, but it's not going to work out. You and I are not a good match and this is not going to work out. I still feel the need to sit down and prove my point on how wrong they are. And honestly, it did not make me feel good after I've proven my point, after I've said my piece. It did not make me feel good at all. Okay. Honestly, there's a time when I was saying that I do not feel the need to be right. I do not feel the need to justify myself. I am free like that. As it turns out, I'm not. So, and honestly, I don't know. It stumped me. I don't know how to fix this. So if um, you do have something, then let me know. Okay, if you have any kind of advice for me, let me know. I would absolutely love to hear it. And I guess at this point, the best thing I could do for myself is really get a hold of my emotions when it comes to these things. Okay, and continuously study my own behavior as I consistently work on getting better. Just like I always tell you, always continue to watch your own behavior, watch your own thoughts, and take responsibility for things. Even that's another thing. That's another thing that I caught myself doing over the last week or two, is deflecting responsibility. I've done a good job of taking responsibility for certain things in my life. But over the last couple of weeks, I felt the need to deflect responsibility. When I am put in a position, my knee jerk reaction is still to deflect responsibility. And honestly, I am quite disappointed in myself because these are the things that I set myself. These are the first things that I worked on improving. Okay, as soon as improving when as soon as I started on my journey of personal development, and you probably are in the same place, right? You work towards improving a part of yourself only to find yourself reverting to your old into your old self when you're put in a position where you knee jerk react. And what I would say to you is don't do what I do and be hard on yourself, okay? Understand that growth is not linear. It's not. That's something that I got to remind myself of every single time because I still fail every single day. I fail as a human every single day. I fail as a forex trader every single day. Not all trades are created equal. Not all trades are profitable, and that's something that I have learned to accept, right? And everything in life is not linear. I know we were conditioned to believe that growth is linear, success is linear, but when you actually go on ahead and start on this journey, you will quickly learn that it is not. Okay? And so the best thing you could do is the fact is acknowledge your small wins. So for me in this case, the fact that I could acknowledge what I have been doing, fighting, needing to be right, needing to appease my ego, basically, is what this is all is, and deflecting responsibility, in certain cases, just the fact that I was able to notice these things is a huge progress. Now little notes give now I'm giving myself notes for improvement for next time is absolutely do not respond or absolutely do not text back, absolutely do not say anything until the emotions have passed. Keep doing your breath work, feel the emotions, process it, and then respond. It's okay to take a while to reply back on a text message. It's okay to say, and I have done this before with a friend and said, okay, what you just said, I heard what you just said, but I'm gonna need to take I'll take a couple of breaths before I answer this, or let me take some time to process this before I answer this. That's something that I've done before, and honestly, it was a very productive thing to do. My friend and I ended up having a really good conversation instead of the usual argument that would erupt. Okay, so anyway, that's my point here is knee-jerk reaction can and will happen because, my friend, you are human. Celebrate that humanity. But the main thing is be sure to go easy on yourself and make notes for improvement, okay? Growth is not linear, success is not linear. And so take the small things, learn, move on, and keep getting better, even at 1% rate. Okay, you get better 1% every day. By the end of the year, you are 37% better than who you were at the beginning of the year. So that's something, right? That's something. So my friends, as always, enjoy the weekend. Take some time, make some space for yourself to rest, acknowledge your wins, and as always, keep spreading the love. Keep spreading happiness, keep spreading kindness. We all know the world needs it desperately. So I'm going to end with this. As always, may all beings be happy and free, and may our words, thoughts, and actions contribute to that happiness and freedom for all. I love you guys.